So, we are moving into our second semi-final of this tournament. We just saw Mirko have a really close set against K-Top with a really nice display of his patented Hellfire Scorpion against K-Top's Raiden and Hishkuten. But this is the second semi-final with Durpey making his first top 4 after many weeks of trying. Looks like he's going for his balanced, possessed Kenji, I should say, against Galaxis, a Russian competitor.
Now, this could be an interesting matchup, but Durpey has, although he's been playing many different characters throughout the game's lifespan, Kenji has always been his favourite character, and it's always been one of the characters he's played. He played a lot of Balanced since the patch, and has kind of made that transition to Possessed with the recent changes. I mean, Possessed is a character of which that teleport is incredibly strong now because of the lack of armoured launches in the game now, so there isn't as much of a consistent answer for the teleport as there was before.
Look at Durpey with a nice life lead so far. Just notice it's Ravenous Mean as well. There's the meatless bull roll and wake up. Doesn't get a full confirm of it though. There we go. Trying to establish the, I believe the grab is -3, or the overhead portion of that, -3 only. So a lot of leads will kind of just chuck that out in pressure to try and catch them afterwards.
Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't see Ravenous a whole lot. I'm familiar with, basically, it's just, she does get access to tick throws, I believe, and that's spending 2 bars. Does drop the combo, though. Durpey can totally take this back. Tries to anti-cross up. He's going to hit confirm that. We're going to get mad damage. And the question is, drops the combo as well. Back-to-back drops from both players. Oh, no. Wait a minute, it's not over.
Oh, wow, blocks the overhead. There's the jump.
Oh, my God.
Durpey with the read. Thing is, that will look obvious, right? But Galaxis, the roll was a wonderful movement that time. All he needed was a little bit of chip damage. Roll would have chipped him out, but Durpey read the roll on a safe move, jumped back, and caught it completely. That drop from Durpey was almost completely disastrous, but manages to keep himself composed.
Now, something very notable about Possessed is that Possessed does lose the 2-1-1-2-4, the launching meterless string. He does not get that in Possessed. So meterlessly, your damage might not be as much as it would be in other variations, but you get better zoning, you get the mobility of the teleport, so it's almost like a trade, right? And this is looking really good for Durpey right now. All he's got to do is press the advantage one more time, tries to do a wake-up, raw roll, and eats a brutality for her troubles, just like that. One game for Durpey.
I do wonder why he opted for wake-up raw roll, though, considering he did have the bar in that situation. The roll was definitely going to get beaten out. Maybe he just thought Durpey was going to be a little bit sloppy with the meaty timing, like we saw beforehand in round 1, but...
Oh, I think I just realised that I think the names are the wrong way around. However, now Durpey's won, they are not. So I won't be changing anything.
Well then, you know.
Sorry about that.
I'm willing to bet if you didn't point it out, no one would have noticed.
I was. To be fair, I was going to do it, and then I saw the comeback in the first round, and I currently lost all focus apart from what was going on in that match. So.
Well, a really strong one though from Durpey. I mean, yeah, things were looking a little bit shaky in the first round, but obviously female hitboxes can be quite annoying, especially like a character like Melina, who is so hard to pin down. You kind of have to really look out because her neutral is so scary, like so scary. But again, Kenji's is looking pretty good now too. So I feel like Durpey's playing this at a really good pace. Galaxis is not playing badly by any means. I think he just needs to really cash out on the damage. He's getting a lot of opportunities to do damage. He's just not really maximizing those opportunities.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's not forget as well, Kenji's kind of in the public eye right now. I mean, you've got players like Tweedy as well over in North America putting in work with Possessed also and getting decent results. And there's a lot of questions surrounding, though, what is this character all about? And it's the fact that the stamina changes buffed Kenji, the lack of armoured launches has helped the fact that Possessed can move a bit more freely with the teleport, and all in all, Possessed looking like a pretty complete character right now in the game's current meta.
Well, Possessed never had an armoured launcher, did it?
I don't believe so, no.
And teleport now having armor and, you know, potentially catching stuff. I'm not saying it's a pseudo armored launcher, but, you know, Possessed wasn't really hurt as much as the other variations there. So I can definitely see why it could be, you know, considered stronger now. But this is a really strong...
Oh, the down 4's going to check the teleport again! Galaxis. I really like the fact that Durpey is going for the meaty back 3 in these low health situations. Because if Galaxis tries to kind of almost cheese out a meatless roll, the back 3 with Kenji hits so low to the ground, there is absolutely no way that Melina's going to low profile that. It just can't happen.
There's down 1 again. Galaxis really trying to enforce that pressure. Again, he's not getting a massive amount of damage, but it is starting to add up now. And he has found himself sitting on a nice life lead. There's a confirm. Durpey's so good at realizing when that's going to extend the damage nicely.
One thing Durpey does really well is understanding that you're minus. Like, he will wait for you to poke just so it is his turn to press a button. Getting the teleport again, forcing the breakout of Galaxis. Go for the string. And again, let's not forget, Possessed is going to be able to throw that low demon or the overhead slash on top of any string right there. Sometimes there are holes, and sometimes not so much. Oh, the counter poke. That safe counter poke. Getting the overhead once again. The trade, the down 4. Durpey trying to down 2. Misses it. This could be the comeback situation Galaxis wants. Gets the counter poke, and the second bar is going to be spent. Durpey, if only he just sat a little bit more patiently and did not whiff that down 2, that potentially wouldn't have happened.
That was quite a costly decision from Galaxis though, but manages to secure the round. Expensive 2 bars, but right now Durpey's kind of freezing up. Like I said before, he tends to like waiting for his opportunity to press a button, but he's kind of waiting a little bit too long now, and Galaxis is really making the most. Doesn't get massive damage, not quite sure what's going on here.
Eats a clean jump, and I think Galaxis actually tried to get the grab extended there, but didn't quite get it. So that's going to be a free 40% damage.
Wake up or not wake up? Yes, he is. Again, that meterless roll wake up. Consistently coming out from Galaxis, Durpey isn't respecting it anywhere near enough.
Oh,
as soon as he delays, as soon as he respects it, he delays the wake up. Galaxis with the tricky stuff.
Oh my god! That went straight through the meterless shoulder.
I mean, Galaxis is basically poking with that, and it caught Durpey because he himself tried a meterless wake up. I feel like Durpey's trying to. In game 1, he knew what he wanted to do, and in game 2, he kind of second guessed a lot of his situations, whereas. We saw Galaxis, make the massive adjustment in the neutral to just basically throw out that grab as a poke. And it did consistently catch Durpey, so it makes sense.
I found that was really interesting though, because like, has he gone? He has. He's made the switch to balance. Now I think one of the reasons here, I think he wants to do is, there are a couple of things that Durpey does with balanced that, I don't want to say they're unique, but since the patch, a lot of Kenshi players did kind of jump ship immediately to Possessed. And they made that change because Possessed, as we said, does fit the game really nicely right now because of the teleport, because of the armor change has helped Possessed quite substantially. But Balanced is not really used as much. But it still is, fundamentally, Balanced is still balanced. It's just that the push is now a lot better. It's a lot safer on block. You're still going to zone. The zoning is unchanged. However,
safer on block. It's actually plus, isn't it? The meter burn version.
Meter burn version is plus now, yeah. Slightly plus. Now we wonder. Now one interesting thing is that Galaxis is proving to be a little bit impatient, and I was just going to say, what Durpey is doing consistently is reading those wake-ups, the meterless wake-ups, and he's stuffing them with a meaty. Now, if he's going to read it in balanced, he can use the meterless damage and really punish Galaxis every single time he makes that read.
But Durpey's going to have to find an option for the block pounce on block, because Galaxis actually turned a full combo from his jump out attempt there. Obviously, it was just corner only, but Durpey found himself a little bit down on life. Doesn't punish it correctly.
Oh, wins the air-to-air. That's big damage. Gets the knockdown. Good block, and that's going to be a clean punish into the guaranteed round win. Now, I was about to say, this is exactly why we've actually seen him go balanced. He's not done it for zoning. He's done it so he can consistently do more damage to Galaxis, because balance can actually launch without having to spend bar. He gets that guaranteed chunk of at least 30% every single time he reads something that Galaxis is doing.
There's the teleport again, Galaxis using it so well on a prediction of this full screen game. There's a block and no punish the roll, and that's an anti-cross up with meat burn roll, but it doesn't spend the bar, so 10%. That's not going to stop Durpey from doing it.
Gets the reversal shoulder. That's going to be much better option right now. No side, doesn't let rip on that. So the mix-up has been established. Oh wow, goes for the break. The anti-air roll is going to be good. Galaxis is probably going to take this next round, and again, it's 1 round each. Definitely a close set right now.
Durpey having to find himself down on bar again, though. This is unfortunate for him, but Galaxis is reserving his bar really, really well. He's basically
no respect. Galaxis with the raw wake up so constantly and is no longer being stuffed for it. Pressing buttons after the tick grab. I mean, that is kind of something you can do as Ravenous.
Oh wow, there's the armor this time.
Yeah, trying to go for the counter hook is going to be good for it. Oh, and the overhead's going to be good. Doesn't commit, though. Opts to keep it a little bit clean. And there we go. Galaxis taking another game.
To be fair, one thing we haven't seen Galaxis do is enforce any of the 50-50s, right? With
I feel like Galaxis is playing without them.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely sort of... He's basing his mix-up and his rush-down over the pounce and the grabs, more so than the actual 50-50 element, which I feel like it's quite an effective way of playing. But it also, comes down to the fact that he has been really on point with the reads on these, the raw wake-ups and the rolls and stuff. And unfortunately, the ones that he has actually been blocked for, Durpey isn't really punishing correctly. But Durpey's going to make his second switch of the set and lock himself into Tempest Kung Lao.
Now, basically, Durpey is now stuck into this variation and character. The fact that Galaxis has one more game to go, if he wins, means that if Durpey wins this next set, I mean, there's no more breathing space. He's going to go all Kung Lao now, or he's not going to win the set.
That's actually a really, really important first bar as well for Galaxis, taking it away. There's an anti-air pounce. Wow, Durpey just hasn't managed to find a consistent answer for that move.
Trying to check with a couple of pokes here, but I think Galaxis just disrespecting a lot of these sort of poke situations. I do wonder how Tempest is going to fare in this. Oh, and just like that, is actually going to spend the second bar just to get damage.
That's what I mean, Galaxis. I mean, that was a fully punishable, I'm going to say it, random roll in the neutral, but it connected. So he's not being really, he's not being deterred from doing these things. And he's just been on point with the reads.
Opts not to go for the meterless interrupt, but at this point it doesn't matter. Now, I feel like Galaxis has had an incredibly unpredictable rushdown this whole set. I think Durpey looking incredibly uncomfortable and just doesn't really know where to stand or where to be.
Another unfortunate drop. I think Durpey's quite used to this. And Galaxis is just running rampant.
Yeah, it almost looks like Galaxis is kind of doing whatever he wants right now. The tick grabs, I think, are a big factor to it as well. Not really needing everything. Trying to get the anti-cross up, doesn't quite get it, but once again, Durpey's going to challenge. Getting tagged by the orbiting hat. Could have been a full combo, but as I say, a full combo, Durpey's going to get the meter burn hat. And here we go, here comes the corner. The question is Galaxis going to disrespect it on wake up? No, opts to block instead.
Could have been the meaty. I think he respected the wake up roll though in that situation, but Galaxis, knowing he's done a good job of conditioning here, opts not to do it this time.
No counter poke, the down 3 is going to be good. Low profiles to jump to, you don't see that very often.
Durpey is just getting chipped down piece by piece here. This looking pretty miserable. Gets the wake up teleport. Doesn't connect though. And there we go. Crouching poke into grab again. Is going to catch Durpey out. So Galaxis is going to be your second grand finalist of this tournament.
I've got a feeling the grand finals are going to be quite interesting now. Because it's going to be... Basically, the question is going to be, is Mirko going to be able to keep a lid on this? Because Galaxis, that was... just overwhelming. An overwhelming display of rushdown right there. Durpey had a hold on things at the start of the set, but just as time went on, just lost that control. Right? It became a lot more uncomfortable, a lot more visibly not able to control what was going on, and it kind of snowballed from there.
I wonder if Durpey should have just stuck with Possess the whole set though, because let's not forget
the teleport was
his
a huge
first
factor.
Game was really important, and he got a lot of mileage out of the teleport. Considering Galaxis was basically getting in for free with his teleport on a read of the keep away from balanced, and kind of just having those options up close. I kind of would like to have seen him stick with Possessed through most of that, just to see if he could take some more games.
Well, the teleport was incredibly significant there. It was very important, and he consistently got tagged as well. Now, I understand why he went for balanced, because he went for the balanced pick to meterlessly punish every time, and he was on the money. However, it was those kind of scramble situations, and also it should have really been 2-0 to Durpey early on, but that really important drop right at the end, giving Galaxis that breathing space to take the game, and it kind of just went from there. Durpey was unable to recover from it. So, let's get this grand final set up.